This example details reconciling a bank account statement in QuickBooks. For this example, I'm using the QuickBooks Premier Accountant Edition 2010. So if you're using a different version of QuickBooks, your screen may look slightly different. The first step to reconciling a bank account within QuickBooks is to make sure that you've reviewed your account register and that all of the transactions for the statement period have been entered. All of your deposits, your checks, withdrawals, and payments have been recorded into the register. You don't need to record the bank originated fees, the interest earned, or bank service charges, because we can do that while we're doing the reconciliation. In order to start, we are going to click on the Reconcile icon under the Banking section of the home screen. You'll see that QuickBooks has automatically selected our checking accounts, and they have selected a statement date of January 31st. And the statement date will automatically pre-populate from with a date of 1 month from your prior reconciliation. The beginning balance that's entered is from the ending balance of your last reconciliation. In the ending balance field, we're going to enter the ending balance from our bank statement, which is $7,465.02. In these fields in the bottom, we are going to enter our bank service charge, which is $10. And QuickBooks, again, will automatically pre-populate with the statement date as the date that the service charges are accrued. The account that we're going to post our service charges to will be bank service charges. And we're going to use the overhead class. On this statement, our interest earned is $8.62. And the account that we're going to post this to is going to be our interest income account. And again, the class will be overhead. So now that we have this information recorded, we're going to select Continue. And our screen will display with all of the unreconciled transactions. This checkbox at the top, Hide Transactions after the statement's end date, this will hide any transactions dated after January 31st. And this checkbox is most helpful if you are going back and reconciling several months of transactions at a time, which I have a lot of clients that haven't reconciled in some cases for a year or more, so that's extremely helpful to me to be able to do. Now we're going to select all of the transactions that are viewed on the bank statement. And you'll see here in the bottom screen, our service charge expense was $10 that we entered on the previous screen. Our interest earned was $8.62 that we entered on the previous screen. The ending balance is $7,462.02. The cleared balance is $7,465.02. Our difference, now that we have selected all of the transactions to be cleared, is 0. And also on the left-hand side of your screen, you'll see that we start with the beginning balance at the top. We'll also have a detail of the items that we have marked cleared. So we have 3 deposits and other credits that we have selected to total $3,377.40, and also 7 checks and payments that total $14,194.60. If you have an error and your difference at the bottom right does not equal 0, The first place that I will usually take a look at is the items that you have marked cleared, because then you'll be able to see whether your difference is in your deposits or in your checks. So at least you have a starting point on whether you should be looking for an error on your checks and payments side of the reconciliation or your deposits and other credits. So now, since our difference is 0, we can go ahead and select Reconcile Now. And they will ask us what reconciliation report do we want to view or to print. So I'm going to have us take a look at both now. We also have the option of just a summary or just the detail report. We can print it directly from this screen, but in our case, I'm going to display it. So you'll see now displayed on my screen, on the screen, is the reconciliation summary for this bank reconciliation. You'll see the total for all the checks and deposits that were cleared, along with any uncleared items that are left in the bank account. And you'll see our ending balance. On the reconciliation detail report, it lists all of the transactions that were cleared and all of the unclear transactions that are remaining. So we're going to go ahead and close this screen. If for some reason we realize now that we really wanted to be able to print out those screens and we had failed to do so right after we reconciled, we can view the previous reconciliation report by going to Reports, Banking, and Previous Reconciliation. So here we're going to select that we want to view reconciliation reports from the checking account. The type of report that we want to view, summary, detail, or both. We're going to select detail, and we can select any of the previous statements that we have reconciled. And we also have the option to include in this report transactions cleared at the time of reconciliation, and then transactions cleared plus any changes made to those transactions since this reconciliation. So we are going to select the first option, which is this would be the standard report that you would get after creating the reconciliation. So we're going to go ahead and display that. And you'll see that this is the same detailed reconciliation report that we had looked at just after reconciling the account. And that concludes our example for reconciling an account in QuickBooks.